What's up, everybody? This is Jay Ray. I just want to let you know that this video will be a continuation of the last one. The last one was getting a little bit long, so I decided to cut it off before actually getting the truck fixed 100%. But without further ado, let's get into this video so you can see what I had to do to get my truck running right. Well, guys, it's the next day and still having issues with the truck not wanting to start, so I'll go over here and show you what we found last night. I didn't record this, unfortunately, but there's an issue with the starter. When I tried to start it, the starter sparked on me, so we saw that spark coming out there. We shut it off and didn't want to do any further investigation. But if you look right there, there's a bolt backed out on it, so I'm going to see if I can get that bolt put back in and see if that stops the sparking issue and allows the truck to actually start. I'm also going to look around and inspect it and see if there's any other issues that I can tell. That's the only thing that I saw last night, but since it was dark outside and we were looking at this with a flashlight, there could be something else going on, and if there is, hopefully I can find it, either get it fixed, or I might have to pull this starter out and take it back to O'Reilly's and see if I can get it replaced under warranty. Alright, well, here we go, getting under the truck. Let's see if I can find out what else is going on with that starter. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully it's just that one bolt that's out. Let's look here. So, there's the starter. Better pull my legs in under my truck in case somebody gets a little close. Yeah, as you can see, it's not always the easiest thing to get to, but I'm trying to look around and see if there's anything else that's messed up. There's the bolt sticking out. I gotta look at, try to get a look at the power cable, which is actually on this side of it. There's the ground right there, and the power cable is behind that. So let me see if I can get that bolt tightened up, and maybe that'll solve my issue. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna tighten that up, and then I'll give you an update. Okay, guys. Well, I have tried to get that bolt to tighten up. It takes a 10 millimeter socket, but this is not good. See that movement? This is the starter solenoid, so I'm probably going to have to take this whole starter out and see if we can get it warrantied, since I just bought it yesterday. Alright, so in order to take this out, we got 3 bolts that take a 10 millimeter 12-point socket to get them off there, and then there's a 17 millimeter nut on the power wire, and then there's that connector on the ground wire that take a 10 millimeter 12-point socket to get them off there, and then there's a 17 millimeter nut on the power wire, and then there's that connector on the ground wire, which is easier to see if I go around the drive shaft. So there's the ground wire, and the power connection is actually up behind that. So I'll have to get this out in order to get to those connections. What I was able to do yesterday was take the old one out, get it in this area right here where I was able to get to the connections, and then take the connections loose. Well, I'm going to gather the tools that I need to get this done, and then get that pulled out. Okay, so this is what I recommend doing to change out your starter on your 03 Cummins. Get yourself a 10 millimeter ratchet wrench. I've already loosened up these bottom 2 bolts here. And that's what I recommend doing. Loosen up the bottom 2 bolts, but leave them in there. And then take out the top one, which you're just going to have to reach up there and kind of feel when you get the wrench on there. And then hopefully you can work it and get it out. Yeah, unless you've got a really shallow socket that you can put on there, this ratchet wrench is going to be your best friend. We're doing this job, especially this top bolt here and this one right underneath it, because can't fit a socket in there. I tried using even a wobble, and maybe if you had an actual wobble socket, you could get it on this bottom one. I'm just not sure about the top one. The only thing I was able to fit in there when I was pulling it off yesterday was just a wrench, but I had this ratchet wrench at the house, so I'm able to use it today. It seems to be going a lot quicker, so hopefully I'll get this out here in just a little bit, and then I can go get the new one. Yeah, got the top bolt out. Now I'm working on just taking these bottom two bolts out. Once you get them loosened up to a certain point, obviously you could take them out with your finger, but you might have to hold up on the starter body in order to do that. So I'm just going to go just a little bit, probably about there. Should be good enough. I'll get this one. Yeah, you can see that starter body's starting to fall, so I'm going to have to put the phone down and stop recording so that I don't drop this and either damage it worse or cause any issues to myself, like smashing my fingers. Alright, I got the starter out, so now I get to take this back. Hopefully they'll replace it under warranty, since I just bought it yesterday. This, I don't know why that's loose like that, and that bolt came out, so I don't trust it. Yeah, I could probably bolt this back in place, but I don't trust it, so I'm gonna get a new one, get it replaced. Anyway, here we go with attempt number 2. I had to take the starter back to O'Reilly's and get a replacement. So hopefully this one will last more than one day like the other one did. The other one lasted me, I don't know, I think I started the truck 5 or 6 times yesterday on the way back because I had to stop and get more coolant put in the truck. And then when we got back, these bolts were backed out all the way. These ones look better. They don't look like they're scratched up. I don't know. Maybe the other one was slightly used. I don't think it was, though, because it came packaged the same way this one did. Had that foam on top, foam underneath, and it was kind of stuck to the foam. But let me get it out of here. And we'll put it in the truck. Just want to make sure real quick. I'm going to shake on this. Yeah, feels solid. Yeah. I didn't do this on the other one. I didn't know I'd have to, because both of these bolts on the other one backed out for some reason. And then it started arcing out the side of this when I tried to start it. So we'll give this one a shot. Hopefully this one will last and I won't have any more issues for a long time. But I'll let you know after I get this installed how it goes. So one more thing to mention tonight. It's only like 6:30, but it's already dark outside, so I'm going to be having to do this install in the dark, so I'm going to be using some flashlights and stuff. So unfortunately, probably not going to be able to film putting it back in there, but I can give you some tips real quick before I go install it. One thing, what I found easiest to do last time was start by pushing this side up between the drive shaft and get it up above the front drive shaft, and then you can put the battery cable on this connection and then put the ground cable on here, or the signal cable. And once you get that on there, then go ahead and put it in place, start the bottom 2 bolts, and then you can put the top bolt in place pretty easy once you get that. Alright, well, I'll put the other starter on the truck that I just got warrantied yesterday, but there's an issue, so I think I'm gonna set up my camera here so that maybe we can take a look and see if that starter is doing anything when I try to start the truck. So last night when I got this installed, it was making a sound like it was normal for a couple revolutions, and then it started sounding like it was grinding. So I want to see what's going on with this starter, and I hope I don't have to pull it out and warranty it again. Well, that's about as good as I can get this set up with the equipment I have currently. So let me see about starting the truck and see if I can get this issue to record. Here we go, putting the key in. Let it go through its warm-up sequence. And start it. Yeah, that did not sound good at all. So the way that sounds, I'm gonna have to at least pull the starter and inspect it. It kind of sounded like gears were grinding or something in there. I didn't like it. The old starter that I pulled off yesterday didn't sound like that at all. So it was kind of disappointing that it just fell apart, even though it was a brand new one. But I guess sometimes that's just the way you get parts from a parts store. Well, here we go again, day 3 of messing with the starter on my truck. I've changed it out a couple times already. Tonight I was trying to find another one at O'Reilly's. They didn't have anymore, so I went to AutoZone and picked up this Duralast Gold starter. This is supposed to be a brand new one, so I'm hoping that this one will work. It looks like it's built a little bit differently. The nut here is a little bit different than what the old one was on the old starter, and then also on the ones that I got from O'Reilly's. It actually, to me, looks like it's a little better quality. So I'm hoping that this one will work. I'm gonna get it on the truck. Of course, it's dark outside, so you're probably not gonna be able to see anything when I'm working on the truck underneath it. And of course, it's hard to film under there when I'm doing it as well, but I got a couple lights set up over there. I'm about to get started. Try to get this starter put in the truck, and hopefully tonight I can have success. But if this one doesn't work, then I guess I'll just keep trying. But I'm hoping this one will work. They say the third time's a charm, and this will be the third supposedly new starter that I'm putting on the truck, although the other 2 were remanufactured, and this one, this Duralast Gold, is supposed to be brand new, so hopefully this one will work. Alright, well, I finally got the new, for the 3rd time, starter installed on the truck. Cross your fingers, hope this one does good and lasts more than 1 day. I'm gonna set this down here if I can. I'm gonna start the truck and see how it does. Yep. Cross your fingers. Hope that it works. Gotta let the truck warm up. Here we go. Looks like we got success. It worked. And engaged fully the whole time. Truck started, it did take a minute, but that's probably because it hadn't been started in a little bit. Trying to get the fuel pressure up there, but she's running. Hopefully it'll stay that way. I said we'll give us a few starts before we call it a complete success. And before I call it a complete success, I'll give it a few days and make sure that it's still good. But so far, the starting sounded really good, so I'm happy for tonight. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to look out for future content coming on my channel.